But what if that's something you really truly enjoy though?
You really need to like.
Why?
I'm obviously like
Instagram model
So
pictures.
you
It's like 800,000 likes.
what I'm saying,
you
right?
801.
Obviously,
like, you need to be 801.
Can I ask you why you both are attacked?
Like
Why?
B just flipped on.
I thought you was with me, man. He's like, Lindsay, your fucking shirt. It's the shirt. Like, relax.
So let me make sure I understand this. So you won't invite the young lady to Miami, but you'll invite Earl?
That's zesty, bro.
All right.
No.
So are you? so you could
White Filipino.
No.
and you said that with aggression. You said that with aggression. So clearly you're offended.
Yeah, that came from a offended place.
Speaking of offending black women, I just want to point out that black women are superheroes. And Mark, we don't disrespect black women on this show. And shout out to these guys actually. Black is Love. Some guys out of Virginia. Been rocking with this brand for a while, man. They got solid line of stuff. So but the moral of the story is to support black women
at all times in everything that they do,
even when they're hitting you. You know what I'm saying? That's when they need the most support.
All right, so you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with three.
I'm not touching that one.
So something that is, I think the conversation is bubbling.
No.
No.
Top three.
Oh yeah.
We always gotta do the show.
All right. As we have now grown accustomed to, we're gonna step into this top three, and this top three is actually gonna be led by Augustus the Great.
Okay.
So what top three we on today?
Top three most reckless drivers by vehicle.
By vehicle.
Right.
All right. By vehicle. All right. You start?
Yeah, we know what it is. Number one is a woman who's specifically part of the Divine Nine, and she drives a Nissan Altima.
But that's not it.
And it's tinted out.
It's smacked out.
Smacked out.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. I got the profile.
Yeah.
It's smacked out.
What percent tense?
Yo.
-12.
Bruh. Yes.
All right, -12 tits. She's playing a underground rap song that you've never heard. You've never heard.
Society.
But it's Metro booming out the trunk.
Yeah.
Yo.
All windows, I don't know how they do this, but all 4 windows are cracked.
Gently cracked. Menace to society, bro.
She's also got, for whatever reason, her seat
my God.
is leaned all the way back to the back seat.
Bruh.
Now, the assumption would be, because you can see her in the back, the back driver's side window.
She's a passenger.
You would think she's a passenger, but she's actually driving. Now, you're a smart guy, right? You would assume, because logic and geometry says that someone I could see that's driving a car that I could see in the back seat would be about how tall?
That's about 5'11".
6'9".
No, you got to be 6'7".
Yeah,
right.
at least
you got to be at least 6'7", right? But this person getting out the car
4'3".
at best. 4'3" at best.
And a half.
It's 4'3".
5'1", maybe.
So
Menace to society.
that is the number one record
Nissan
for sure.
Ultima drivers that are women.
You offered up. What did you offer up for us?
Dodge Charger.
Dodge Charger. Is that the new one?
All of them.
All of them. Okay.
From when it came out in 2007 or whatever, all the way to
from the
day.
beginning of time.
So let me ask you.
I had 2 of them, by the way.
Now, as far as the Dodge Chargers, is it the custom painted ones that are more dangerous, or the one that gives you the natural feel, like you see the car and you think it's her man's or something like that?
It is. Go ahead.
The factory gray.
Oh, it's the factory.
The
gray.
factory gray.
base.
The gray.
I'm
The
thinking
gray
the one
joint.
with the Hemi joint. When they step on that gas,
You already know that guy. You already know
parking
that
lot.
guy.
Go
Yeah, you already know
like
that guy's a
Right.
That one right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He needs to be arrested.
And then maybe I'll offer up a third one. The CLA,
The baby Benz.
the baby,
The baby Benz.
the
Menace.
I just got my first real job.
That's luxury joint.
The I go to brunch with my girls. We don't need you niggas,
Yeah.
because we got it outside.
I traded in my Ultima to get this.
I traded in my Ultima because now the Ultima's basic. Now that she's graduated,
Yeah.
those are the basic women
Yeah.
now to her.
To say you got a Mercedes joint.
Send them to
the
jail,
starter
too.
pack. The starter
Right.
pack.
Send them to jail too. They still the same mentality, just in a better car. They all need to go to jail.
So are there honorable mentions?
The Chevy Impala,
Chevy Impala is our honorable mention. Okay.
all
okay.
black Chevy Impala. If you drive an all black Chevy Impala, you need to be arrested
Okay. Immediately.
for like a weekend. You just got to do a weekend in jail.
Right.
Yeah, menace to society.
All them joints. There's multiple cars that look like cop cars. Y'all
Oh,
seen
oh.
them? There's like a Crown Vic,
Yeah.
a Ford Explorer.
Oh,
they got
okay.
the lights on them. And you think you slow down,
Right.
and you just see something
Ruining my day, bro.
I'm like, man, slow down.
Giving out anxiety for
Yeah.
nothing,
For
dog.
nothing.
And they
Them
know what
joints.
they doing, dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Send them all to jail.
All right, so we got our top three. Number one being
That
again
Altima is disgusting.
Nissan Altima.
Smacked out is key, bro.
It's SmackDown.
And not for nothing, man. It's usually dirty. It hasn't been washed. It looks like it's been driven aggressively.
And they be
I don't know what. Just
Riding on the shoulder and shit, and like swerving through lanes. Oh, it's disgusting. bro.
This car parks at any local carryout. Never. Hey,
Double parks.
hey,
Car still running. They hop in and out.
hey, B, never turns the car off.
Never turns the
car off.
This car never turns off. Even at night.
Oh, my
The
God.
car's just in park.
Pumping gas. Still blasting.
Oh,
You said Metro Boomin. Still blasting Metro Boomin. Pumping gas.
yeah, please.
All right,
menace to
so-
society.
All right, so another conversation that's been kind of bubbling is in a relationship, there are spoken rules and unspoken rules. Will we all agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
yes.
so there's spoken rules and unspoken rules, right?
Brother.
Is it okay to like pictures of the opposite sex on social media? I'll say social media. I won't say Instagram. Social media, period. Right? I don't know. I should have an opinion, but I mean, I guess I'd have to have some experience with this, and I don't really have any experience really to offer. I could just offer what do you think? Help me out.
I think this is one of those things that you don't know it's a thing until it happens. You like a picture, and then your spouse may say, "Whoa, you liking this? What we doing now?"
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
That's what we doing now. But it's nothing right or wrong to say if it's cheating or not cheating. I guess it's what do you have as a respect thing in relationship. Some people may be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Other people may not be cool with it. But when it's cheating, that's heavy. And I think cheating is like, it may be a crime, but then you got capital one murder, and then you have,
Misdemeanor.
misdemeanor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
right.
is it cheating, which is a capital one murder? Like cheating, like for me, is like you catch someone in the bedroom in the act, or they're texting.
Capital
in the
offense.
Capital offense.
Absolutely.
Going to jail for life. Y'all breaking up. You're done.
Right.
This, it could be cold in your household for a day or two. I can see it, especially if you like someone an ex.
Okay.
Not just like a model. It's gonna be cold in your household.
So who it is to you?
Now, if it's just like a, just an Instagram model,
Right.
It could be laughed off, or if it doesn't look like your spouse, it could be like, well, maybe he likes her and doesn't like me. It can give her some type of insecurities.
Okay, so it's easy for
It's a lot
us.
to it.
It's easy for us to have the conversation on that side.
Yeah.
So now you observe certain pictures of certain people of a certain type being liked.
Yeah.
Does that cause any? I mean, is that a thing?
It could be a thing. It could be a thing, especially if, let's say I'm one body type, and she's liking the standard body type,
Right, right.
whatever, the generic whatever, and she's liking that. It may give me some like insecurities. Maybe I need to feel like I need to go to the gym, or maybe I don't feel good enough. It could hurt your pride a little bit.
There's potentially nothing more fragile than the male ego.
Facts.
And these are things that we don't talk about, right? Like, for example, you out and you trying to have a good time, and a guy does something like, I don't know, buys all the women drinks or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, these are things that could poke at your ego a little bit, right? Especially if you can't return the favor, or you can't.
If you ain't got it, you a broke boy.
Like, these are things that can happen. So I can only imagine if she starts liking pictures, because again, I think it's easy to have a conversation because we all have been fed the narrative, right? From social media, just from the culture, right? That niggas is out here wilding out, liking pictures, and then the woman gets upset because you like da-da-da. We always had that conversation, but I mean, there is the other side of it.
Is it just one, or is it a bundle? She hit the bundle pack, the double like, on like the last 10 pics, or because context matters, right?
Right. So
that is true.
Is she a consistent liker?
So something that got brought up to me, because again, and I'm not even being funny about this, I don't engage much, so I don't know how this works. But it was brought to my attention. Well, what if the way that somebody gets your attention via social media could be to start liking all your pictures?
Yeah.
Because you'll go in and notice, like, wait a minute, you get the notifications, right? So I mean, is that a thing?
You the you.
I mean,
That's how you shoot your shot.
You the wave right now, so.
You the curl.
And I'm not. Yeah, you the curl.
I see what you did though.
You were the wave like 2 weeks ago. But go ahead. All right, so you're the curl.
Yeah, that'll send up a flag for sure. If you see one person liking 10 of your pictures on your profile, it might send up something in your head like, oh,
what's the threshold? Is like 3, you cool? Like three, 5, like she's into you for sure.
3 or 4 is probably not gonna like send nothing off my head.
Because you might have just had a good run of pics and some stuff up there.
Yeah, but if it's like 10, it'd be
that's
like,
you.
Okay, what's going on?
Basically, y'all go together.
If you're a guy decided to like the same individual and it's 10 pictures, how you feel? Because here's the scenario. The question was posed. Okay, if he saw her like out in public in his head, would he like that? The answer is yes. So him going to social media and liking the picture, what's the difference?
I think it depends on the picture. If it's like her in a swimsuit kind of thing, then I'd be like, no.
It's giving controlling. It's giving he can't do what he wants to do with his social media. It's giving
toxic.
It's giving toxic.
It's giving toxic.
I wouldn't do that myself.
Right, but those are called your boundaries.
In respect of him.
But those are your boundaries,
so to me,
not.
like, he's not respecting me.
Wait a minute. So that's a good conversation. Your boundaries, are they necessarily inherently our
They
boundaries?
need to talk about it beforehand.
But see,
So you're trying to change his social media habits.
No.
Wow, toxic.
You're saying in the midst of a relationship. So nowadays, I guess they would be having these conversations.
They would
right?
be having these conversations.
Yeah, that's actually part of the conversation.
How do you interact on social media?
It's like
Is
a
that-
like
is that a
equivalent. What's that
conversation?
equivalent to, like a text or something now? You know,
Yeah.
Is what the
remember when
like a like
Instagram
if you
first came out?
send 10 likes,
they used
is
to
that
say
the equivalent
it
of
was
that?
like the notifications. You can see everybody in your timeline what pictures they like.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't have to go to each picture and whatever. It used to say such and such like this picture, such and such like this picture. They of course got rid of that. I'm sure people got caught up or whatnot. But you
Right.
just show everybody's history and what they was moving like on Instagram. Switch it up.
Could you ever see a place where you? I don't like being too specific, but could you ever imagine yourself being in a place of saying, "I don't like that. I think you should stop liking pictures." Do you think you can ever see yourself doing that?
I mean, that's what Big L was just saying that she would do to her dude. She would restrict his access.
No.
She would Zuckerberg him basically, like, which is crazy. So that's wild. So no, I mean, to be fair, no, because that's toxic behavior. Those are red flags. And sounds like the women here, Throwing up red flags. That's wild. Nah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. My insecurity at some point, like if I noticed it, then I'm gonna ask about it.
What you gonna say?
Like, what's up with all these fucking hearts?
So you're talking about like to a person, one person.
No. I mean, yeah, like obviously it's obvious at that point, right?
So if it's okay, no, we got to talk through it, right? Because we got to add context. Are you more? I'm saying worried. Are you more cautious if it's a person, a single person getting all the likes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because that's the side dude.
You just going right into it.
That's how you gotta. I mean, that's how you gotta rationalize it.
Because when the question was posed to me about the likes, right? I said, so is that the form of flirting?
Right.
The likes, is that the
absolutely.
non-verbal way of flirting?
For
now?
sure.
Yeah.
It's the safest way.
It can't be taken as like a sure thing. It could
Right, I
be
think
taken
it's
as like it's a
one
possibility.
And
It's a
then if
passive
you
way.
comment on that
If it's a comment, because like you have comments
Yeah.
in DMs if they really want to just like shoot a shot, whatever. But
It's a gateway flirt.
To see what,
Yeah, it's
to see
testing the
what
water.
your level
Yeah,
of
to be a
engagement
toe
is
in,
willing to.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of you know, being like you walking by, you got a girl or whatever, a lady or a man, and you throw somebody like that's attractive, like a casual compliment, like, oh, I like your outfit, like, man, it look good on you. Now, if they're receptive to it, you know what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, I like your smile, like, you know, if they're receptive to it,
Yeah.
then you like,
Wait a minute.
word, you
Wait,
want
is
to see
this
where that
when-
goes?
Is this when he has a girlfriend?
Right, you
Yeah.
gotta
Well, he's
check.
saying-
Have you ever seen that video on TikTok where it's like, I like your shirt? Like, the guy says that, and then the girlfriend is like, hey, I like your shirt.
Yeah, right, exactly,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
The equivalent
right,
of that, right, exactly.
You seem real. You got real.
You got
intense.
personal. That was real. Hey, I like your shirt. Like,
Now, for those,
very animated. You know,
for
like,
those
yeah.
of you,
Wow.
of you that don't know Big L and can't see her, she's normally extremely quiet,
Yeah.
extremely reserved.
Yeah, but
this
just now,
particular
she
comment,
stood up, was like, "I like your shirt." Like, slow down. He's not here.
this definitely seemed to be an out of body experience on that particular.
Tell us
comment.
more. Tell us more. How'd that happen? How did
No experience. I
you
don't
burned
know.
the shirt? I got it.
Right,
No, we caught it. We
Nobody
got it.
else is gonna see you in this
Right.
shirt ever again.
Follow 3 to Podaway on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chumps.
I don't want to have the Keke Palmer conversation per se. That's been every
about,
angle has been
talked
talked about, but there is a conversation to be said, I think, about like what's understood between people in a relationship. Right. Is there a difference, or should there be a difference in what's comfortable when you're together versus when you're not together? Right.
Okay.
As far as like how you act, potentially how
see.
you dress.
I see what you're going.
Should there be a difference, or should it be carte blanche? Right? Should it be I'm me wherever, no matter what the situation
Right.
is?
All right, this is layered. So I want to give them an opportunity to talk on that, but
Okay.
I do think we should even take it a step back further, right?
Okay.
Because you're saying like once y'all together, right? But like usually when you meet this person, you meet them in, we're assuming their environment.
There you
right?
go.
So
Okay.
if I meet
Yeah,
a girl at church, I'm making the assumption that she's into this a little bit, right? I meet a girl at the club,
Into church a little bit.
in the church,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That might not be her full spectrum,
But it's an aspect of her
it's
personality.
an aspect of her life, her personality.
Yeah.
The same would go for, as we saying now, if you meet somebody outside, then the assumption is that this person enjoys outside in some capacity. Now,
Yeah.
right? Like, sure, they could come in the house a little bit. However, do you reserve the right to be upset if and when they want to go back outside? Because that's where you met. me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You met me in the street.
outside as an observer and outside as a participant
Are two different
are
things.
two different.
However,
it could be a cousin's birthday. She's just
Right.
outside that one
right,
night,
but
you know what I'm saying?
that outside is one step to being a participant.
Yeah, right.
We all
Okay.
start as observers at some point,
Right.
or
Right.
participant wherever you
Right.
start. They're not that far apart. So that's why I said maybe take it a step back and start there. Now, are there expectations that there are adjustments or changes to your partner once y'all get together?
I will say this. I will say, once you evolve past, once you decide that we're going to figure this out, right? I think male or female, there is a, and people say they don't care, but I do think there's a hint of, I want what's mine to be for me. I want something that I can say about this is solely for me.
Correct.
Right. Now, what that is different for different people. Right. Some guys are okay with like their lady going out and dancing and enjoying herself while she's out, and they're not thinking twice about it. Right. Even we talked about,
as long as I'm not there to see it.
Some guys are that way. Right. No, some guys are even okay if they're there. Right. We talked about the buying drinks thing. Right. Is it okay for a guy to buy the
Another
woman you're
man to
with
buy,
or
yeah.
the woman that you're in a relationship with, right? Is it okay for him to buy her a drink? Is it okay for her to accept that drink? And see, like, I know the easy answer is, right, because like when you get in front of a camera, people want to get cute and you don't want to sound controlling. But if you're just being honest, right, like, I mean, that's again, strike to the ego. The male ego is extremely fragile, right? Are you more upset that he bought the drink, or are you more upset that she accepted the drink?
See, yeah. See, the drink thing. Yeah, I don't know about the drink thing, but like
Now, when you
somebody-
say- now, when you
No, no,
say
no,
you
no,
don't
no,
know.
I'll give you something else. There's something like, we're getting older. It's not the drink. Oh, you want a drink? $15, $20. Like, I don't think you really own up now. If you inviting, come on up to my table, to my joint, and then you're going up there, that's a little bit
That's
different
different.
than it's
Okay.
a drink. A drink, you could be their birthday. Y'all have a drink, like a $15 is like not gonna, or 20, whatever it is. when
Speak
you
for
are.
yourself, dog. That'll fuck me up right
Yeah,
now.
all right. But when you step into like a table or something, and come up there and you bringing your girl.
That's like going into his house.
There you go.
The reason being, let's explain.
Just a drink.
Let's explain that for not only the people that know, but for the people that may not be familiar with what we mean by that.
Yeah.
So what we mean by that is that for those that have been in these sections, whether either as a supporter, or as the provider,
that's a good one.
right? That is an intimate space.
Very intimate.
Those sections.
Very Well, I should say make love in the club, on the couch. Yeah, they can be very intimate, like you said.
I didn't say that. Who was that?
Usher.
No. You. What's your name?
Mr. Studio.
Yeah. So the thoughts and views of
No, I said Usher said make love in the club, and that's what that was. Yeah.
Wild boy right there. Yeah, I don't know.
I think also there's a lot of this stuff is situational.
Right.
There's something that we can describe that if you see it and you're in the moment, and it could be something super casual, but just being in the moment and experiencing it,
Yeah.
it could hit you completely different, right? Like dudes have a habit of like grabbing hands.
Yeah.
Right? That's a thing now, right? What if your
That feels sexual assaulty, but go ahead.
No, I'm saying like, what if your lady isn't like the aggressive type, like get the hell off me type, and you capture the holding of a hand?
No, she better be the aggressive.
She has to be the aggressive type.
Yeah,
Okay,
because the expectation is the same for you, right?
that's what we talking about.
Like we're not in the
but
business.
that's the point. That's
we're not
what
in the
saying.
business of disrespecting, or we ain't gonna hit him. But we like, no, I'm good, thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I appreciate you though.
So I had a conversation too. So
Stay blessed.
So I talked about another thing, right? So whispering in ears, right? Clubs are loud, which we're all familiar with, right? How close do you actually need to get for somebody to hear you? Again, sounds like something funny until you walk in and see somebody leaning into someone's ear. It's a thing, right?
She better look like a fucking wasp Just like, one of them joints, like, oh.
Then your hand had to go behind the guy's hand had to go behind her back to get closer.
Right. That's the whole thing.
Fucking Floyd Mayweather. Throw that shoulder up there. She better get the fuck up out of there. Yikes.
Yeah, man, but it's just, the social media and the liking of the pictures is just one aspect of just like these relationships. Okay. Is it okay for the opposite sex to attend an outing? We're going to brunch. We're going to brunch.
Okay.
You assume that it's all girls. No, you assume that it's all girls.
Okay.
Your lady says she's going out and it's all girls. But then you see on Instagram, let's use Instagram because that's right. Mm-hmm. You see in the pictures, it was
Todd.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah. Leroy, because it's French.
Hello.
Right. Leroy was there.
So it was double dates.
Right.
All throughout.
Is that okay?
I mean, yeah, I guess it happened.
See,
might be a little salty.
Is that your on-camera answer?
No, I'm just obviously you want to have a talk. Like, how was brunch?
That's how it started.
That's what I know. How was brunch?
All right.
Know? And depending on how the conversations go, yeah, that's going to change the tone of.
I think that's definitely one. If it was the other way around, it would not be.
I feel like it wouldn't.
Okay.
I feel like it wouldn't be that bad if it was because women go to brunch,
right?
You know what I mean? Like that's their thing. So if you and the fellas went out and y'all happen to like, at least I'm thinking it may. I don't know. I'm not a woman, so I don't know how they would feel, how a woman would feel. But yeah.
Well, I think we know how you would feel. I mean, you just went off about
shirt.
Yeah, you just went off about
the shirt.
So I can only imagine if you found out your dude went to a club and he had women in his section, you would probably be bothered by that.
Well, that's what's supposed to happen, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Oh, no, like not yes to your statement.
You expected him to be all dudes in there? Then you got to worry about something else. It's 2023. It's 2020. What do you prefer? What would you rather?
Yeah.
If I was married,
I'm just saying, like either one. I mean, you want him in the club with a bunch of dudes, or you want him in mixed company?
With just guys.
Oh, okay.
And you're gonna
you're progressive. Okay.
So are you gonna demand that? Is that gonna be part of your list of demands?
No.
Like you can only go to brunch and get sections with all the guys?
No, I'm not gonna.
Oh, so he can't go out?
Yes, he can go out.
Just not with women. Women
okay.
are.
So
We're asking a question.
At a club
with girls around.
Or
girls that he invited.
Well, no, he met them there.
No, why are you talking to them?
Why are you even talking to him?
Yeah.
Wow.
You have a girlfriend.
That sounds.
/ or wife.
That sounds.
What's up?
So
controlling. That sounds toxic.
Hey.
No, because
red flag.
Like you're there to flirt with other people.
Right.
That's how you look at the club.
Yeah, but unless you're there with your girlfriend.
What if him and his guys just wanted to like dance in a circle?
Then his friend can. But why are you?
But then Tom found this like nice girl, but she had 4 of her friends, and he felt bad, so we just invited.
Right,
him
he just didn't want to leave all them.
Yeah, he didn't want to like leave them.
We got a section. Hey,
I wasn't even talking to them. They were just ambiance at this point.
You said it sounds a little sus. So again, for those of you that can't see Lindsay, she actually did the "nuck if you buck" fist into her palm as she was speaking. She was like, when you hear her say "what's up," that's what she did. She actually put her fist in her hand. So clearly that's another touchy subject
red flag
that we stumbled upon.
So your man can't.
Oh my God.
He can't compliment people's shirts. He can't go to the club. He can't breathe air without your permission. All red flags. I hope other women don't feel like this.
Yeah.
But is there a difference between like boundaries and controlling? Like, what's that line?
I think what the person's willing to accept, right?
Yeah, you define the boundaries, what you're okay with accepting.
But are your boundaries my boundaries? You know what I'm saying?
I think you your boundaries may be different, but you got to respect their boundaries.
The other person's boundaries.
If you like that person, so you may respect them. Like, let's say, go back to the double back on the liking thing. I may think it's cool to like somebody, but if your spouse says, nah, that bothers me for whatever reason, then don't like the picture.
But what if that's something you really truly enjoy though?
You really need to like.
Why?
I'm obviously
The
like
Instagram model picture. It's like 800,000 likes.
What I'm saying, right?
801.
Obviously,
like, you need to be 801.
Can I ask you why you both are attached? B just flipped on.
I thought you was with me, man. He like, Lindsay, your fucking shirt. It's the shirt. Like, relax. My point being is that, okay, maybe liking a picture isn't, the end of the world. But however, if I'm a person who enjoys going out to the club, hearing the latest music in that environment, right? And my partner is somebody who prefers to be at home, who doesn't necessarily like the club, right? Or like to go out as often. Do I then in turn need to suppress what I enjoy? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to give you my full self if I'm not able to release and enjoy my life the way I like to. Now I feel constrained. You get my frustrations, you get in my negative energy because I don't have my release anymore, like something that I truly enjoy, right? That's what I'm asking.
I feel you.
You see what I'm saying?
I see exactly what
so
you're saying.
right, the liking is
B
like,
is basically saying, well, that's just something you got to deal with.
I didn't say that at all. I see exactly what you're saying.
That's where I think a lot of problems in relationships come, right? Like,
yeah.
again,
I think you stumbled on the big.
You meet them as this person, right? Mm-hmm. And you're accepting of it to a degree, right? It may not be your favorite thing about them, but there are other qualities that you enjoy. But now that there is a commitment, an attachment, then you start to, impress on them your wants and desires. And it's like, sure, but you're not taking into account what makes them who they are, you know what I mean? And then that in turn can cause some problems. Right now, obviously there are some things that if you care about someone, you're going to make some adjustments. Maybe I don't go out 5 days a week like I used to, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. Let's be fair about it. Right. But yeah, 4.5, you know what I'm saying? Or, like 2, whatever that compromise is that can still feed your soul into whatever you enjoy to do, but also help your partner.
But I'll tell you how we kind of end what I'm thinking about indirectly, right? Is I assume that things that you see advertised to you, right? Like I said, and I keep going to social media, right? So now there seems to be an overwhelming amount of content that is individuals giving you tips on how to act in relationships. Mm-hmm. What I'm talking about, the solo view with the camera.
For sure.
They're talking at the camera, telling you what you should and shouldn't accept, and all these type of things, right? And I'm like, well, there wouldn't be so many of this if there wasn't a market for it, if there wasn't someone consuming this. Mm. I think there's a danger in just people having to be told what they like and what they're okay with and different things like that, right?
That's what
meaning like you're not even. I mean, how what's the level of participation in these relationships now? Like, are you all even talking?
Right.
Or are you just taking what somebody's telling you is the way to be and taking that at face value and saying, well, that's what I'm going to do here. Mm. And then making the relationship conform to that. Because that's what I heard when you were talking about that, right?
It's a lack of compromise, you know what I mean? Just in general, I feel like there is this movement where men are telling women how to be women, right? And then women who are single and have habitually been single are telling other women how to like not like to stand. I don't want to say submissive, but it's just
that's
like
the word.
It's just like a hard no. It's like, no, we will not do this. And it's like, well, that's not fair, right? Because I think the messaging that's been pushed is like that it's only women who have to compromise in relationships, right? But those of us who have been in relationships, and if you've been in a relationship for a long time, you truly understand that in order for it to work, both parties do have to compromise, right? Like, I think men are a little bit more quiet with our compromise. Like,
you mean approaching the conversation? Yeah,
like consistently we've been told, like, you know, like the messaging for men is like happy wife, happy life, right? Like, you know, make sure that your family's good. Like, you know, make sure your spouse is good or your partner's taken care of, right? So as such, right, like there are things that men, I know a lot of men that'll just adjust without making it a thing, and it just goes unnoticed, right? Like,
they call that get along to get along, right?
Right. Like, you know, you get told like, hey man, it's just better to just, you know, suck it up, or, you know, like you lose that argument, you know what I mean? So it feels as if men aren't offering any compromise, which I don't think is true. And women absolutely are compromising as well. Like, I don't want that message to be lost either, but I think that's the whole thing. Like, both parties have to compromise. It ain't about conforming. It ain't about being submissive. It's like, look, if I care about this person and I know this makes them uncomfortable or makes them unhappy, where can we meet in the middle that both of us are getting what we need outside of each other and with each other, right?
So going back somewhat to the Kiki conversation, but so what I was explaining when we were talking about the dressing aspect, right? Should a man be able to tell a woman what to wear?
Absolutely. And a woman should also be able to tell a man what to wear, right? Like,
if there's a feeling,
if you're a super well endowed dude or whatever, like the whole gray sweatpants thing, that's real, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? You've worn a pair of pants that may have been a little too tight, and it's like your lady like, no, I don't really like that. Like, I don't like the way, you know, your print is today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, you can't tell me what to wear. Like, that's not fair. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do that when I'm. I didn't go. But it's like, that's not fair.
Wait, slow down, 21. I don't need you to do anything for me.
You know, I think it's like, I don't think it's consistent, right? Because it's like, if your lady is about to step out and she like, oh, what you think of this dress? You're like, yo, you look good, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think I have too much cleavage? Do you think it's too tight? If I say, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit too much cleavage.
Yeah.
If she goes, fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you can't tell me. That's not how people in relationships work. And people in relationships know that. The only people who are telling you that you shouldn't be able to do that are a whole bunch of single people who are single for a reason, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, there has to be like some things, like your lady might tell you, I don't want you talking to her. I don't like y'all energy.
Right.
She should be able to say that to you. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all have a conversation about why she feels that way. What's going on? What am I doing to make you feel like that? The same way he should be able to be like, yo, babe, I really love what you have. Your body, it looks great, but I want to have that for myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so
can you go a little less revealing?
You like, Mark, I mean, you've been here this whole episode.
I forgot he was
has he been in the shot this whole time? And you haven't said a single word. I don't want people to think that we weren't included.
What it was?
How long have we?
Brimby wasn't here, so we needed someone to fill in for the space.
How long have we been talking?
54.
We've been talking
54 minutes.
We've been talking for 54 minutes.
We just needed somebody to fill
You have been on camera for 54 minutes.
That's wild. Yo, you are a serial killer, bro.
And on that note,
one thing for certain. Oh, sure. I don't even know where we are.
Two things for certain.
3 to Poway.